Surprising all but Amelia, Nathan grinned back at Boris, not even the least bit intimidated. I accept your challenge, but I doubt you'll be able to write anything afterward. Legally speaking, Nathan's public acceptance meant that this was no longer an illegal private matter, but a public disagreement that the Duke's guards would accept. Boris nodded as he drew his sword slowly. Shing! Speak your full name, young warrior. I do not kill without knowing my enemy. Nathan Hayfield is my name, from the noble house Hayfield of Godric's-land. Shing! Nathan obligingly unsheathed his blade, as everyone else in the shop stepped back to give them space. Sensing the inevitability of the conflict, the shopkeeper frantically hopped over the counter and rushed in between them, throwing up an arm in each of their directions. Stop, please, young masters. I have other customers here. My shop can't handle this. Boris chuckled. What other customers, old man? Your shop's so overpriced that we're the only ones in here. Besides, I'll pay whatever the damages are. Nathan also smiled at the anxious shopkeeper. He found the man's fear amusing. Given Nathan's true strength, the idea of a long, drawn-out conflict tearing up the store felt ridiculous to him. Don't worry, shopkeeper. I'll finish him without so much as a scratch to your store. Amelia frowned as she stepped back towards the edge of the counter. Be careful, Nathan. If you get hurt at all, I'll murder you myself. Nathan smiled at Amelia. Don't worry, sis. We'll be on our way shortly. Then he turned over to the shopkeeper, who had slowly crept out of the space between the two swordsmen. Shopkeeper, go ahead and start packaging that snow rose for me. I'll ask for it once more in a moment. Amelia looked at the high mountain snow rose encased in glass beside her and cursed the fact that she had noticed it at all. Now Nathan's life was once again on the line, all because of a stupid flower. Boris raised his blade over his head as he shouted toward Nathan. Hog shit! Shopkeeper, do no such thing. You better shut up now. You're really pissing me off. Boris rushed towards Nathan with his blade over his head. As he moved, his blade glowed a dull purple color, and Nathan smiled. Ah, this Boris fellow is a spellcaster of the power of chaos, another form of magic taught by the mysterious Chaos faction. I wonder how that'll be fair when faced with my power of Asura. But before Boris's blow could strike, Nathan remembered something else. Whoosh! Boris sliced through the air where Nathan had stood only a second before. But before he could strike again, Nathan leapt over to Hagar and held up a hand. Wait, I just remembered something important. Boris scoffed as he raised his blade above his head once more. All that talk and now you wish to yield? I won't let you off that easily. Nathan ignored Boris and instead turned towards Hagar. Young Master Haroldson, as the highest noble present, are you willing to testify to the sanctity of this duel as an impartial judge? Yes, of course. Your duel is first to yield or to death. Either way, I'll take care of whatever the consequences are. Even if your man loses? No matter who dies, I will be responsible. After all, I'm the son of a duke, not some villainous schemer. No, I will ensure the fight is an honorable one. That is the only way to handle this. Good. I just wanted to make sure. That's gotten me into a mess of trouble in the past. Nathan turned back to Boris and raised his sword. Behind him, a couple of lower nobles that came with Boris and Sarah began to cheer him on. They laughed and jeered at their hot-headed friend, absolutely certain of his victory, but also relishing the opportunity to mock him. Come on, Boris. Don't let him make a fool of you. Yeah, wipe him out. Show these Godric's-landers that they can't mess with Harold's land. Make him wish he never even met you. Boris twirled his sword in his hands, showing off for his little audience as he taunted Nathan further. "It's a pity I don't have a larger audience. Otherwise, I'd make you bend the knee and cry out for mercy." "How generous of you. I will not be as forgiving." Boris's face twitched as he raised his sword up. He'd had enough of Nathan's words. Like a wild animal, all he could do was think of quieting his prey. A deep bloodlust filled his head as he saw red and snarled. "Enough posturing! I'll strike you down, you loudmouth bastard!" Nathan took up a defensive stance, with his broadsword loosely hanging by his side. He beckoned Boris towards him with a flick of his left hand. Coldly, he nodded at Boris. "Come and get me, then." Whoosh! Boris snarled as the power of his chaos magic dimly glowed purple around his sword. He leaped into the air toward Nathan and brought his blade down in a wide overhand arc. Wind-breaking silence! At that moment, the noble entourage surrounding Hagar couldn't help but widen their eyes at the sight of Boris's ultimate move. Their minds raced as they each considered what was happening. "Whoa, if Boris is already using his wind-breaking slice, he must be really serious. There's no way this Hayfield kid can stand up to Boris's strength. I doubt a nobody from his fiefdom can take a slicing blow like that." Despite all of this, Hagar Haroldson patiently waited to see Nathan's reaction. He, too, doubted Nathan's ability to withstand Boris's strongest move, but he was not one to jump to conclusions. Whoa! The air blew furiously around Nathan as he patiently waited for the edge of Boris's blade to fill up his vision. At the very last moment, Nathan sidestepped his enemy's attack and calmly struck a glancing blow to Boris's sword arm with his broadsword. Squish! Nathan's point cleanly cut through muscle and tendon. Boris screamed as his sword arm went limp. Immediately, spiritual energy flowing through his blade disappeared. Before Boris could finish his painful howl, Nathan punched him in the face and sent him crashing into a wall of jars and herbs. Crash! Ouch! Boris stood up slowly as he continued groaning with pain. Blood dripped down his sword arm slightly, but most of the blood came from his broken nose. Boris's eyes flared at Nathan as he managed to pass the sword over into his good arm. Despite the pain, Boris knew he'd rather die than submit. Never before had he been wounded so horribly after a single exchange of blows. Normally, he'd beat his opponents easily in front of his peers, so now he knew there was only one way he could regain his lost honor. He had to fight on. Meanwhile, Hagar frowned at this miraculous turn of events. He saw the killing intent in Nathan's eyes and knew that his friend would be slaughtered right before his eyes if he didn't act quickly. Boris roared and charged Nathan with his blade now in his left hand. Nathan crouched and prepared to deliver a finishing thrust to Boris's heart. At the last moment, though, Nathan sensed a new presence in the fight. His spiritual awareness allowed him to spot Hagar leaping up behind him, preparing to knock him unconscious with the pommel of his sword. A desperate attempt to save his friend.
Please subscribe to the Pocket FM YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notification. Check out our channel for more such exciting shows.